Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Girl Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post, you already know the vibes, man. And I'm excited because we got your Wednesday night episode of Dynamite. The review is popping, and I'm even more excited because during the show they made the announcement. Tony Schiavone, Sting, and even Ric Flair, he was there too, but they made the announcement of what we know when Revolution is taking place. It's gonna be, I think, March 3rd. We know it's gonna be Sting's final match, but they announced the location. The whole time I was praying, man, I was hoping it will be somewhere in North Carolina, or Raleigh, Charlotte, but AEW Revolution next year is gonna be in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I plan to be there because it's gonna be my first ever pay-per-view. WWE, AEW, TNA, my first ever time going to any type of wrestling pay-per-view. I'm excited about that, and it's history, man. It's wrestling history. I hope to be there for Sting's final match. That's crazy. Greensboro Coliseum, Greensboro, North Carolina. Like during this time, like they're singing Ric Flair, they're talking about the good old days and how they wrestled for like 45 minutes, no commercials, blah blah blah. I didn't care about none of that. The only thing I cared about was the fact that my prayers have been answered. This is taking place in North Carolina. Greensboro, North Carolina was like an hour and some change away from me. I plan on being there, man. Oh, God is good. All the time. God is good. Anyway, as far as Dynamite goes, man, it kicked off with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, on commentary. And he was pretty much on commentary for the Continental Classic matches. And this tournament kicked off last week, and this week it kicked off with Jon Moxley and Jay Lethal. At this point, Jon Moxley had 3 points, Jay Lethal had 0, and the momentum went in favor of Jon Moxley. He now has 6 points. Jay Lethal still has a big old goose egg, so I'm pretty sure his elimination is coming pretty soon. However, man, this was a good match, man. Of course, it's Jon Moxley, and you got to see that good old Jay Lethal, that Ring of Honor Jay Lethal, that TNA Jay Lethal, none of the goofy Planet Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett stuff. Just Jay Lethal wrestling, you know, being the wrestler that I know him to be, that the wrestler I grew up on, you know what I'm saying? And not a knock on like the goofy stuff he does with Jeff Jarrett and Saddam Singh and all those guys, but I like seeing Jay Lethal just, you know, wrestle. I like it. That's what I like, you know what I'm saying? And the thing I like the most about these matches with Bryan Danielson on commentary is the fact that he made it feel more like more sports-like. You already have Taz doing that with like his play-by-play, like the way he calls the matches. But then you add the fact that Bryan Danielson, he has more of an insight, especially when it comes to like Jon Moxley, as far as, you know, how they train and how the Blackpool Combat Club does, and just like mentioning little things like, you know, covers, like how the wrestlers cover each other, like, yo, you should have had a better pin cover, and it's just those little things. And then after this match, you cut to a pre-tape segment with Eddie Kingston. You know, he lost his match this past Saturday on Collision, so he's down 3. He still has 0 points, and he's saying, you know, he's feeling a little bit down on himself. You know, he's fighting from behind and blah blah blah. And then this Saturday it's going to be Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston in their tournament match. And then it cuts back to Bryan Danielson, and he just turns up out of nowhere. He's like, well, I'm not here to be humble in victory or defeat. I'm here to win. And he's just yelling, and he has his eye patch on. It's just like fired up Bryan Danielson. I'm at home pumping my fist like, yo, I'm excited. I can't wait to see these two wrestle this Saturday. And then we have the second Continental Classic match of the night. We have Roosh taking on Mark Briscoe. And this was everything I expected it to be. These two grown-ass men just beating the hell out of each other. You know, Roosh just chopping the hell out of Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe chopping the hell out of Roosh and making funny, crazy redneck noises and shit. You know how Mark Briscoe does. Entertaining as hell, but he's a talented wrestler. However, this wasn't Mark Briscoe's night, you know. Roosh ended up getting the win. So, you know, he's up. He finally got his 3 points, and Mark Briscoe still has 0. So, man, I don't want to see Mark Briscoe get eliminated, but I can kind of see him and Jay Lethal being the two that kind of get knocked out first, as far as the whole gold league or whatever it's called, whenever. And this is something I didn't get to talk about last week because, you know, I didn't do a video, but the whole blue and gold league kind of reminded me of Pokemon. I'm pretty sure your favorite YouTuber and Twitter personality has made that comparison as well, but you know, it's true. It reminds me of Pokemon. So after this, we cut back to Toni Storm, RJ City, Luther, and Mariah May. Oh my God, Mariah May. Yeah. So anyway, RJ City's talking to Toni Storm, and he lets her know that she's having a championship match next week. And Toni Storm's kind of, you know, just talking and saying words and, you know, talking about JFK and how she's like hungover and she has gout or whatever. And there was even one part where she took her shoes off. You can hear the crowd just cheering. You foot merchants, you foot freaks, you Quentin Tarantino mother. Anyway, I digress. So speaking of finance, Mariah May, later in the show, you cut to her and RJ City talking, and she's saying that, yo, thank you for getting me a chance to talk to Tony. And I'm thinking, like, is she talking about Toni Storm? Well, she's actually talking about Tony Khan. And what I think is going to happen is Toni Storm's match next week is going to be against Mariah May in her debut match. And it would be kind of funny if in her debut match in AEW, she beat Toni Storm and took the AEW championship, AEW Women's Championship. That would be hilarious. That would be the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. But I wouldn't be too mad at it because, you know, Mariah May. Yeah. So after this, we have our AEW champion, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. He's making his way down to the ring. He has his pimp cane. And he lets it be known that his hip is popped out of place, his knee is jacked, man, he has a torn labrum, but that's not going to stop him from fighting Samoa Joe at World's End. And he does a good job of putting over Samoa Joe. He talks about how back in the day, you know, he used to watch TNA Impact and how it was an alternative, and one of those pioneers was Samoa Joe, and he just put him over heavy. But then Maxwell Jacob Friedman put himself over even better and said that he was been a day one guy in AEW and how he's here because he loves this place, not because he's here to line his pockets. Holy shit, is that a CM Punk reference? He even mentioned CM Punk in his promo. He talked about how he's beating some of the best that AEW has to offer, and he mentioned Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Kenny Omega, and the list goes on and on. So as he's talking, the lights go out and there's like static and a disturbance, and Retribution shows up. It's not Retribution, but you know, it's Retribution-ish. It's the ninjas from Impact, you know what I'm saying? It's them, it's they, it's we, it's aces and eights, you know what I mean? So they get the jump on MJF, but Samoa Joe comes out to make the save because he wants MJF at his absolute best when he beats him for the AEW Championship. And you know, as you know, Samoa Joe is helping out MJF, then this text comes on the screen, and it's saying that, you know, will you accept the challenge? Will you be a hero, Max? Will you face the unknown? And next week is going to be in a tag team match. MJF and Samoa Joe taking on two members of the Devil. I don't even know what to call these guys. I guess they're called the Unknown. And the thing that made me laugh about this the most is they're dressed in all black, but they have the Devil logo, like the mask logo on their backs. Marketing, branding, you already know how that goes. But that was pretty entertaining. So MJF accepts the challenge, but Samoa Joe's like, yo, what are you doing, man? You're trying to fuck up my main event, you know? That's what I got from it. Like, Samoa Joe wants his main event match with MJF for the championship. So I feel like we're getting closer and closer to seeing who the Devil is, who these masked men are. Is it Adam Cole? Is it Jungle Boy? Is it Mustafa Ali? I don't know, but you know, only time will tell. I'm pretty sure we're gonna, if we don't see some hints going into it next week, we're definitely gonna see a big reveal going into World's End. After this, we had a match with Wardlow and AR Fox, and one thing a lot of people on Twitter pointed out was the way old Wardlow's hair was messed up. Like, you know, he just took a mask off and they had like mask hair or something like that. So that's something to keep your eye on, because right now Wardlow is the leader of the I Hate Maxwell Jacob Friedman fan club, or hate club, or whatever you want to call it. So that's something to keep your eye on. So this was pretty much an extended squash match. the referee ended up stopping the match. You know, Wardlow hit power bombs and senton bombs, and it led to a ref stoppage. So Wardlow pretty much beat AR Fox, and this has kind of been the trend with him. In trios action, we have the Hardy Party taking on Top Flight with returning Dante Martin. Dante Martin is back from injury. They showed that injury he had at a final, I think it was at a, no, it wasn't Final Battle. It was Death Before Dishonor, I think, where he landed off that ladder and his ankle just went that way and his leg went that way. I was like, oh my God, ay, ay, ay. But it is good to see Dante Martin back. It's good to see Top Flight back together with Action and Ready. And I actually like them as a team, as a trio, as a unit. And they're taking on the Hardy Boys and Brother Zay. And there's not too much I can say about this match, man. You know, Top Flight, they're the hometown boys. They ended up getting the win. So good for them. You know, the Hardy Boys, just keep on keeping on. Just hold on a little bit longer until you make it to Greensboro, because I do want to see the Hardy Boys wrestle at least one more time, you know, before they hang up those Jinko jeans and those boots, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But after this, you had the Penta and Commander and I want to say Vikingo, and they're laying out the challenge. They wanted a trios match. I'm pretty sure it's either going to happen on Collision or Rampage, but I'm here for it because it's flippy shit. I like flippy shit. Pretty sure you like flippy shit too, so let's go. So after this, man, we're back at it. We're back at it with the one woman's match. It's the hometown girl Julia Hart taking on Emi Sakura. Why Emi Sakura is facing Julia Hart, I had absolutely no idea. But it's a house rules match, and the rules of the match was that submissions are not a way of winning. Like, so submissions are not allowed. So like, let's say Julia Hart locked in Heartless on Emi Sakura. Even if Emi Sakura tops out, it won't stop the match. So, and that's what one of the things that did happen in the match. Emi Sakura did tap out to the to Heartless, but it's no submissions allowed. So Julia Hart ended up winning with a moonsault. So, you know, good for her, good for Julia Hart. And she's extremely over. You know, the people love her. Her entrance is getting better and better each week. She has what the kids call aura. And she has one of the best themes in wrestling, not just AEW, but wrestling, you know. Especially the part when they say, "The house always wins." That always pops me. I love that part. That's the best part of the song. So, good for you, Julia Hart, the best member of the House of Blink. So next up, we have one of the highlights of Dynamite. You have Christian Cage come out. He's out there with security. And I think it was on Collision, Adam Copeland. I didn't call him Edge. I actually called him Adam Copeland. Good for me. Good job, Chris. Adam Copeland challenged Christian Cage to a TNT Championship match next week in Canada. And, you know, Christian's out there. He's saying, listen, he just wants to talk to Edge or Adam Copeland. He tells security to go away. He's calling him out. He's like, please come out, Adam. And you have the crowd yelling, Adam! You know what I'm saying? Neck strong. But Edge eventually comes out. And Christian's like, listen, I just want to talk to you, man. And he says he's sorry. He apologizes to Adam Copeland for all the mean things he said and done. And, you know, he's going down this whole memory lane. He's talking about how he was upset that, you know, Adam Copeland took out his son, Nick Wayne, and his dinosaur kill switch or unprettier, you know. And, you know, that pissed him off. But he had to take time, you know, to take a drive. And he just started driving down memory lane. He started thinking about the good old days. And he did a thing that I've been waiting for since Ed showed up. Christian mentioned the fact that, you know, Adam Copeland's mother is dead and he doesn't have a father. But he does say that, you know, that Christian wasn't trying to be his father figure. He was trying to be his brother. He's always seen it as a brother. His family took Adam Copeland in. They loved him like there was his own son, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he started thinking about Adam Copeland's mom, Judy, who passed away. And he's like, listen, man, we got to get the team back together. You're right, Edge. We got to get the band back together. And this whole time while Christian Cage is talking, I know exactly where this is going to lead to. I know exactly how this is going to end. And boy, they didn't disappoint. Because you have Adam Copeland kind of like contemplating and thinking about it. Like, yeah, maybe you're right. And the whole time Adam Copeland's mulling it over, Christian looks like he's about to hit Edge with the TNT Championship. But Adam Copeland kicks him in the dick, you know. He kicks him right in the nuts. And then he beats him up a little bit. And right before he leaves, he says the magic 3 words that we've been waiting for, that I've been waiting for this entire promo. He tells Christian Cage, go fuck yourself. Long-term storytelling, ladies and gentlemen. It's like poetry, it rhymes. So next week for the TNT Championship, it is going to be Adam Copeland taking on his blood brother Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. And I'm pretty sure that shenanigans are going to take place. I don't think Christian is going to lose, but you know, then again, you never know. So now we have the final match of the evening, the main event, the final match this evening of the Continental Classic. You have Jay White taking on whose house? Swerve's house. And this was exactly what I wanted. This is everything I needed. This was a good main event. And I wouldn't mind seeing Swerve and Jay White wrestle again. You know, maybe for that AEW Championship, you know, I'm just saying. But this was a dope main event, man. Swerve got to show off what he's made out of. Jay White, he's cooking it up. He's doing a good job, you know what I'm saying. This was a fun main event. Swerve ended up getting the win. He's moving and grooving, you know what I'm saying. Jay White's looking depressed and distraught and whatnot. But yeah, man, this was a good match. You even had Jay White kick out of the Swerve Stomp. And if you listen to Excalibur, he'll let you know that this match, that move has broken cinder blocks. He'll tell you this every time. But Jay White ended up kicking out of the Swerve Stomp. But that wasn't enough to stop old Swerve, man. He's crafty, he's smart, he's a veteran, he knows what he's doing in that very ring. And I would be remiss to mention the fact that at the beginning of this match, they were making their entrance. Prince Nana is back, you know, he's on crutches, but he's still doing the dance that people love. You know, everyone loves Prince Nana, and everyone is getting behind Swerve, man. People are doing the dance, of getting behind him more and more. So, you know, Swerve is just growing in popularity. A lot of people are saying that they wouldn't mind seeing him win the tournament, like the whole tournament. And, you know, honestly, I wouldn't be too mad about that either. But, you know, only time will tell to see where this tournament goes and who advances and who wins and who gets eliminated. But that's another story for another day. As far as this episode of Dynamite, man, it was an overall fun episode. It's doing a good job of advancing the Continental Classic, getting the main event ready for World's End, building up intrigue for this whole Devil and the Mystery Man and whatever, you know what I'm saying. Even getting us more invested in Christian versus Adam Copeland for next week. So it gets the honorary W. I feel like if we get more episodes like we got this week and last week and even the week before that, man, AEW, they'll start to build that momentum and people won't be able to say it's a cold promotion anymore. And hopefully that attendance will start to grow up and up and up, and we'll have hot wrestling from both companies. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think of this week's episode of Dynamite in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace. And go fuck yourself, Christian.